you have to understand that what you're witnessing in the World Baseball Classic with all of the stories is an emotion that makes these people a lot more human and a lot less robotic. But on that game last night, Japan beats the United States. More than half the televisions in Japan were watching that game with a seismic moment at the end that Ohtani called the greatest moment of his life, Stugotz. Where he's facing...
Mike Trout would not agree.
That is correct. Yeah. He's facing...
What an incredible moment. Can you imagine if those two guys played on the same team?
I know.
I know.
They'd be good.
Wow.
He's facing Mike Trout at the end of the game and strikes him out because he's throwing 100, 100. Okay, here's something on the black that's not 100. See you later, Mike Trout. But on this day where we've got the sound of that call from Japan, Amin is here somehow to make an allegation against Ohtani, not to celebrate Ohtani, to be the guy who zigs while others are zagging while accusing Ohtani of something.
I will say that we also glossed over someone saying Ohtani was better than Babe Ruth yesterday on the show. Blasphemy. Sultan of SWAT. Get out of here.
Someone. That was Jeff Passan.
Ridiculous.
Pretty reputable.
Yeah, but it was a ridiculous statement, and because of his reputation and because he's got credibility, no one really challenged him on it, but we should have, because Ohtani is not Babe Ruth. Not today, not tomorrow, not next year, not in 10 years. He'll never be Babe Ruth. Sorry.
To be safe, it was Elmo, not Jeff Passan.
True.
And he's not Babe Ruth. He's better. The reason I didn't
He's
challenge
not better?
him is because I agree with him.
Oh, Jesus.
A-Rod
Dan.
also said it on the broadcast.
Enough.
He also said that analytics have not made their way to Japan.
No. No.
He also said Babe Ruth might have been faster than Ohtani, or was faster. I don't know.
Hey, it's an all-time Yankee great.
Fatter.
Aha.
5-tool player.
What is your what? I mean,
faster. I mean, that's what I was talking about. You made the fat joke. I was talking about faster.
No, I think he said he was the fastest player or something. He said Babe Ruth was fast.
Babe Ruth never had a season in which he hit 7 home runs or 18. Ohtani's had 2 of them. I mean, what are we talking about?
Aren't those seasons that were cut short by injury?
I don't know.
That's the kind of analysis you get from Stugotz, the expert on watching all of Babe Ruth's games. What is the accusation, Amin, that you wish to file on this day of celebration? Great national celebration in Japan for Ohtani.
Well, first, okay, it was awesome. That was awesome last night, seeing him go out there.
Don't make the diluters.
Okay.
I don't want to hear what a great player he is.
Okay.
I want to hear what the accusation is.
It was awesome.
He's
I
a
was
fraud.
watching Lone Star 911 because that was on main Fox. This was on FS1, one of the biggest baseball games ever, and the mothership for Fox is airing 911 Lone Star. But yeah, I guess sure, the biggest baseball game ever was on FS1.
He's a fraud. Ohtani speaks English perfectly. This dude, I've seen it a million times. What they do is they have an interpreter, not because I don't understand or I don't know how to correctly express myself, but because they know if I add this extra layer of bureaucracy, they won't be as keen to interview me. They're like, do we want to get Ohtani? And they got the interview with the interpreter there. And so last night, this is how I know. This is the tell. Last night, Ken Rosenthal interviews him on the field. Now, we know that the question has to go to the interpreter to interpret, and then the answer has to go to the interpreter to then bring it back to us. And neither Ohtani nor Rosenthal give a second of energy to the interpreter. They're having this conversation over here. Interpreter's, poor guy, doesn't want to get in the shot. He's leaning forward. He's like, well, I can't hear what you're saying. And at no point in the show, I say, hey, did you get that? They know exactly what's going on. Everyone's in on it, and it's just like a farce. It's just something they throw out there.
Well, I don't think it's a farce. Ichiro famously had an interpreter, and the legend around Ichiro was that not only did he speak English perfectly, but he also spoke Spanish perfectly. But having that extra layer of bureaucracy allows for some privacy, too. Makes you a little less approachable from certain aspects of the media. It allows you to think things over, and if you're not necessarily sure on like 1 or 2 words here and there, to have some clarity. But the legend was always that Ichiro spoke 2 languages perfectly outside of Japanese.
That's pretty cool, though.
Both of them dirty. Also, as someone who covered himself in being maximum professional for his people, he would speak in those languages dirty.
Really?
Yeah, he would surprise like third baseman with Spanish shit talking.
That would be a great way to get your interpreter in trouble. Accidentally say something really bad. Stouffer stovetop.
Not accidentally. Stouffer stove.
Yeah, that's right.